Welcome to Drinkin Bros, presented by GhostBed.com.
Welcome to Drinkin Bros, fake news, Dan. We're little by little, week by week, we are starting to become real news, I feel like. And everybody is treating this as it is real news. And I'm going to be honest, I'm starting to feel like a real journalist. How about you?
I don't know what it means to be a journalist.
Someone who reports the truth, Dan.
Right.
That's what a journalist used to mean. When I got my degree in journalism, they said you've got to tell the truth. You got to let people know about what's going on.
Yeah.
Damn it, I have.
The problem became when there's always a delta in the news, right? There's always you have to add a little bit more information. So here are the absolute facts of the situation. But keep in mind that this, and this happened. Like these two countries have this relationship, so this could be problematic. But these two countries don't have that relationship, so it's probably not a big deal there. That's fine. That's analysis, and that's fine. Give people that information so they can make smart decisions and shit. But these days, the facts are like, you ever watch that show Chopped?
Oh, yeah.
On Food Network.
Yeah.
You know how when somebody gets one of the special ingredients and they don't feature it in the meal?
Right.
And they're like, hey, this tastes really good, but you fucked up.
Right.
Like the whole point of this was to make a fucking Spam hamburger, bitch.
Yeah.
And all you gave me was a slice of pineapple.
And you didn't use the parsley we gave you.
Yeah. So the fact becomes like a secondary part of the delivery of news. And we're fucked now. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. And what you described earlier is what we call an A, B, and C plot for sitcoms and TV shows. So, yeah, that's what the news is doing, dude. You're creating these plots so that it seems more exciting or dramatic or comedic or whatever it is. It is no longer just reporting the news. Therefore, I think we might be the real news, baby.
Well, it's super problematic when you see journalists or so-called journalists and media networks using the same strategies that intelligence agencies use to conduct misinformation campaigns.
Right. But they're also combining that with Hollywood in the use of plots to create tension or protagonists. You're using both techniques combined into one to create this other reality that we're now living in. Yeah. And I'm pretty positive that it's a sim world. I feel 80-20 that we are living in a sim world right now.
Yeah, you just pulled those numbers out of your ass, so that doesn't really mean anything. But
that's what you do in a sim world. You do whatever you want. You make up numbers, facts, figures. I feel 80-20, 80% positive we are living in a sim world.
The Drake equation is a good example of taking a bunch of determining factors that are both mathematic and non-mathematic and coming up with a result. What you just said is not nonsense. Although I do like 80 and 20. They do equal 100, so you got that part right.
Yeah, well, look, you're welcome.
That's all
you
you can really hope for from a guy wearing a Hooters hat, frankly.
Yeah.
If he can,
you're welcome.
If he can add up to 100, I think you've won that fight in America.
Yeah, that Drake equation, though, can be applied to a lot of things. Because a lot of people like Thank Me Later. Some people like More Life, Take Care, Nothing Was the Same. I didn't like the Dark Lane demo tapes. No. So, as far as the Drake equation goes, it's just kind of a combination of R&B and rap at that point. I'm pretty sure that's what you were talking about, right?
No.
Okay, great. Let's get to the top story of the week then. That is the hypocrisy of COVID.
Yeah.
That is going on in every single city with all of our leaders across this great land of ours. The autonomous zone of the New York City bar shutdown is a real thing that's happening. And the owner was arrested after openly defying the COVID rules. Max Public House is located in an orange zone. Which, correct me if I'm wrong, but isn't this like military terms that we're now using?
Yeah, but that's nothing new. Anytime you have to do anything programmatically in the government, you almost always use paramilitary structure, right? Like Cal Fire wrote the book on how to do emergency management. Mm-hmm. So in that case, it was when I say Cal Fire, I mean the California State Fire Department. All the emergency management shit that you see in FEMA now, they wrote all that stuff 40 years ago, dealing with wildfires and shit. So you do see crossover from government. I don't think that's nefarious or anything.
Well, the reason why I ask is a fucking civilian like myself here. When I see orange zone, that there's an orange zone in Staten Island where Max Public House is located, I don't know what that means.
I mean, they just selected the colors of the rainbow to denote it's 1 through 5. It's phase 1 through 5. That's it. They just used colors instead, because why not try to confuse every goddamn buddy?
Yeah, a lot of Roy G. Biv happening there. So in the orange zone, because I'm able to read this, I don't know it myself. I'm too dumb for that. It means that indoor dining is banned in that area. However,
after 10 p.m.
After 10 p.m., yes. Correct. But the owners of the Grant City Bar continued to serve patrons inside last week. New York City sheriffs said deputies on Tuesday surveilled the bar after receiving complaints of indoor dining past the 10 p.m. curfew. Deputy sheriffs witnessed 14 people inside the bar, many of whom were eating and drinking alcoholic drinks. According to the sheriff's office, plainclothes officers who were seated at a table ordered food and drinks in exchange for a mandatory donation, hard air quotes, of $40.
Yeah, they're clearly trying to subvert the law, right? And I'll bring this up since we're Francophiles. The people that hid Anne Frank in their attic, and Anne Frank herself, were breaking the law, and the people that came and kidnapped and then murdered her were following the law. So the law of your government is not some fucking moral standard. That is meaningless. That's some information, or that's some rule that some assholes put out. And clearly these people are assholes, because at a time when New York is suffering in a lot of ways, and we know a lot of NYPD officers and shit will
we have some friends that
are on that force and that are sheriff's deputies throughout the state of New York. During this time of public crisis where crime is up, violent crime is up, all of it is up. They're putting plainclothes officers in restaurants to make sure people aren't eating after 10 p.m.
Now, who does that exactly?
That's the sheriff.
Okay.
And he's taking his orders from the governor to do that, I would imagine.
Gotcha. Because I was trying to figure out the chain of command. Or maybe a county
commissioner or something like that. I don't know what their structure is up there. I don't know.
I'm trying to figure out the chain of command in something like this, because, it's hard to go hard on the police on something like this if they're ordered to do so. Because
no, it's not.
Here's why I have an issue with it, is the police officers have to put food on their table. They have to follow instructions, or else they're going to lose their jobs, right?
Fuck that. Fuck everything you just said. We all remember sheriff's deputies showing up to Ian Smith's gym. We had him on, 3 weeks ago, I think, and kicking the goddamn door down and taking and seizing his shit. We remember all these cases that have happened before. I'm going to say this one motherfucking time. Police out there, police, sheriff's deputies, whomever you are, whatever capacity you're working in, you need to decide who the fuck you work for, guy. If you work for the government and not the people, then you need to take that fucking flag off your shoulder, because you don't deserve to fucking wear it. What does it mean to believe in liberty, to believe in the principles of America? It means that you're willing to lose everything in defense of that. Your life, you're willing to kill for it. And if you're not, then you don't really believe it. Fuck that. No excuses for this shit. It's gone too far at this point. If you're not willing to relocate to a jurisdiction that will obey the goddamn Constitution, sorry, guy. And if you need me to help you raise money so you can move, I'll fucking be there. But I'm not going to let you walk into people's fucking places of business and physically remove them and arrest them and cut off their ability to feed their fucking families. That shit's done.
But to me, the hardest part that I have with it is this. It is very hard to find a job during COVID. So for somebody like me to say, fuck that, quit your job, when you don't have another one, and it is very hard to get one during a time like this, and or move your family during COVID, you got to put food on the table somehow.
You sure do. And we have one of the largest audiences comprised of first responders of any media organization that exists. So here's what we can do. If you're out there and you work in a place that you don't want to be working, and you're a police officer or a sheriff's deputy or something like that, reach out to us. And if you're somebody that has openings where you are, reach out to us. Because fuck this. This is untenable. It's unacceptable. This is goddamn America. You don't fucking get to wipe your ass with the Constitution and do it with a flag on your shoulder. I will fuck you up. Can't happen here.
Yeah, man. I see the other side of it of, you got to put food on the table at the end of the day. And like, dude, I don't know if they enjoy doing this. I don't know if a lot of people enjoy doing their jobs.
You know what, dude? I didn't enjoy getting fucking shot at. And if people are standing in a crowd over there and one bullet comes over there and I look over there and there's women and children, I don't get to shoot all those motherfuckers because it's convenient for me. Fuck that.
But still, man, you have to pay for your family to live.
You sure do.
Now.
So we'll provide a transition. We'll figure out a way. Police are hiring all over the country right now. All over the place they're hiring right now. So there's no excuse for this shit.
But isn't this going on in a lot of cities right now?
It sure is, yeah.
Because it's happening in Ohio right now. The whole entire state of Ohio is under a 10 p.m. curfew as well. Right. New York, New Jersey. There's a bunch of states. This one's a tough one for me. I can't go all in on this one because it's really hard to get a fucking job right now. And, shit, man, my sister's a waitress in Ohio, right? Her livelihood is essentially sports games at night. She works at a Buffalo Wild Wings.
So you're telling me that her employment is not as important as this cop's employment?
What's that?
Like here's the standard that you're setting. You're saying, not you specifically, but this situation is saying if these cops can go in and shut down these restaurants, they can cut off all these other people's ability to put food on their fucking table just so they can keep food on yours. That's not American, man. Fuck you.
I understand. I understand.
I'm not. You can't let other people fucking suffer because you're afraid.
I understand that, but one way or another, somebody's going to lose their job, and I don't know what to do about that.
Well, we know who should.
I'm not in a personal position to be like, hey, man, go quit your job, and I can pay for your life. And
no,
your
we
kids
can't pay
like
for
that.
it, but we have a huge community here. We have huge companies that work with us, people that don't give two fucks about these clowns with their fucking veneers and their slick back hair that think they're better than us, that they're going to rule us. There's no ruling in this goddamn country. There's only one thing that rules in this country, and it's the document that's hanging on the wall over there. That's it. That is it. And if you're not willing to lose everything for that, then you don't deserve to wear that flag on your fucking shoulder.
Well, right now in America, at least in my opinion, we are ruled by the slick back hairs and the veneers and all that other shit. Like,
right. So we know who needs to lose
sucks.
their fucking job. It's not police, and it's not fucking restaurateurs, and it's not waitresses, and it's not whomever else. It's these assholes that think they can come into my fucking town and tell me what to fucking do. That is, what the fuck? This is America.
I understand, but take the case of North Carolina, and I talked about this with Jessie earlier on Ross Patterson Revolution. That was a state where, look, you go out and vote, and this is what we tell everybody. If you're unhappy with the way the world is going in your situation, go out and vote and fucking change it, right?
Right, but that's not enough anymore.
I understand, but in North Carolina, right, everybody voted for Trump. Trump won that state. They voted for all Republican fucking senators and congressmen and all that stuff. However, they kept Roy Cooper in there, the Democrat, which is really fucking hard because most people vote down ballot. Right. That guy, they're still stuck in phase 2 or 2.5 or whatever the fuck it is. It's still the same shit going on there. But clearly, the people of North Carolina voted that guy back in there, and they were amped with the job that he was doing because it wasn't really that close. That governor, I think it was 4 points.
The guy
Roy
that
Cooper
ran
versus
against him,
Dan Forrest.
Dan Forrest was not going to ever win that.
But even the entire state was Republicans, right? Why that one Democrat? Why that one guy who has fucked everybody over? They voted for him to be in there. So.
Yeah, for sure. And that's fine. I don't give a fuck how many people vote for what. This is not a democracy. This is a constitutional fucking republic, motherfucker. You understand that? I don't give a fuck if 51% of people vote to end America. Fuck it. So what? We're just going to end America as 51% of people voted? That is not how this country works. It is not how there's nothing in the Constitution about that. It's just not how it works, man. And again, I'll bring this point up. I know that it is particularly difficult for people that have families to look at themselves and say, you know what? I have to leave this place. This job is not okay. I can't do this anymore because it's against my principles. And if you're not willing to do that, then you don't deserve to wear that fucking uniform or that flag or that badge in the first place. Period. There's no fucking... The time to play games is over here. This shit's done, man. People don't realize that the only reason Gavin Newsom has any power is because people accept the fact that he has power. He doesn't have a military. He cannot come to my home and force me to do things unless other people in the same exact position as I am, that is an American citizen, help him come take my shit, right? We all refuse to do that, and his power goes away. That's how that fucking works.
Or you vote him out of there.
No, fuck that voting out of it. Start ignoring these motherfuckers. Stop paying your fucking taxes to California. What are they going to do? Come arrest you?
No,
it takes 3 years.
I understand, but they'll just take the money out of your bank account. Like that's what happens when you don't pay your taxes.
Move your money into a credit union. You'll be done with that.
All of this is easier said than done.
It's not. It's not. It's easy to move all of your money into a credit union right now and out of a major bank outside the reach of the federal government. It's actually easy to convert it all to cryptocurrency if you really want to. And the government definitely can't touch that.
They can't.
There's plenty of ways to do this stuff. And a lot of it is difficult. Some of it may be untenable. We may not be able to accomplish some of this stuff. But here's what we can absolutely not allow to happen. We can't allow this to happen. This cannot fucking happen. Some fuckface with an Ivy League education can't tell me to stay in my house. You know what fucking Newsom's trying to do right now? He wants to pass another measure right now that requires anybody that's not on the essential work list, you can't leave your county.
Yeah.
Unless you're going to a job that you're essential for.
Yeah.
Fuck you.
Yeah. Look,
come and fucking
agree.
stop me, Gavin.
I agree.
Any of you motherfuckers. It's not about any tough guy bullshit. It's not about being I'm not anti-government or anything like that. But when this is America, America is either going to exist or it is not going to exist. And as long as it exists, the foundational principles are individual liberty. That's it. It's the only one that matters. And if you're coming after that, then you're coming after me. And there's going to be a fucking consequence of that.
But right now, we are living under a democracy where we vote people in and then
we live under a constitutional republic. This is not a democracy. There's nothing in the Constitution that says 51% of people in this country or 50.1 or 50.001 get to decide the outcome. There's a fucking document, that one over there, that says exactly what we're going to do.
Look, I love you. This one's tough for me, man, because, I always tell people if you don't like what's going on, go out and vote and change it. After that, you can't do anything more than either become a fucking...
No, you can.
You and I, anti-government.
We can do this. We can do media stuff, but people that work at restaurants, there's not anything they can do. You're right. But police, there's absolutely something you can do. You can refuse an unlawful, unconstitutional order, and you have a fucking moral duty to do so. And if you don't, you're a fucking coward. Sorry. Like, if I was some dickhole off the street that had never done anything before, I probably wouldn't say something like that, but I fucking suited up and walked into the line of fire, got blown the fuck up and all this other bullshit. I don't have any fucking sympathy for somebody that's going to lose a couple of bucks when all my buddies lost legs in their lives. Fuck you. Get your shit together.
So what would be the best course of action here in something like this? Like, so let's take Max Public House, right? What would you recommend that they do when this happens?
Well, there's nothing Max Public House can do. Honestly, I mean, you're right about that. The average individual in the United States, there's not a whole lot you can do unless you want to go fucking get violent. And that's not the answer. Because Dakota and I are going to talk about this tomorrow on American Party. But what would a civil war in America even look like? People are all these people, tough guys who have probably never been in fucking war before, are out there talking about civil war and shit like that. You don't know what the fuck you're talking about. And what would it even look like? A civil war in America, whomever got control of the military, that's who would win. Mm-hmm. That's it. The end. There's no fucking actual battle.
So let me ask you this. How much military is actually in America? Like how many members?
Well, there's about 2 million active service members and then Guard and Reserve and shit like that. And there's about 23 million veterans, although the majority of them, not the majority, but the plurality of them are elderly. So I think something like 12 to 16 million GWAT veterans, and of those, 6% are shooters. And in any branch of service, about 6% of the people are actually shooters. So that is what it is. But there's no need for that. We need a social and an intellectual civil war. We need to throw off this idea, this encroachment of government into our daily lives. And you see it now. You don't see the symptoms until the disease shows up. And the disease is government overreach in this case. Now that we see government overreach, we see just how far they can reach into our fucking pocket, into our lives, into our homes. Cannot happen. It can't happen. So as far as what to do, the average person, you can empower your police. You can support them when they do the right thing. Have their back. If you're like, I'm not a religious person, but if you're around churches and shit in these major cities, start raising money and get these people like out of that situation somehow. Fix it. Use whatever power you have, your collective power in your community to fucking fix this shit. And if you're a police officer, you have a moral responsibility to say no when the answer is supposed to be no.
Has anybody said no so far that you know of?
Yeah, plenty of sheriffs all over the country have. I mean, you see it on the news every single day. Some governor says, I'm not going to fucking do this. I
actually don't, because they don't really cover that anymore.
Well, yeah, the mainstream media doesn't much. But in California, was it Orange County sheriff that told Newsom to get fucked, that he's not going to do any of that stuff?
It might have been. I know Orange County, because it hasn't been totally statewide. I know Orange County has different regulations than like LA County or whatever.
Right. Yeah, I mean, there have been a number of sheriffs all over the country that have said no.
Right.
And good for them.
Yeah.
That's exactly what the fuck you should have done.
The Orange County Sheriff's Department said it wouldn't enforce Newsom's limited stay-at-home order.
Yeah, and Orange is one of the biggest counties in California, right? And that's how it's done right there. And if you're a sheriff's deputy somewhere, it's a little bit more difficult for city police, because you report to the mayor and he can just fire you if you're the chief of police right there on the spot, right? Or the city council can fire you. Nothing you can do about that, but they can't fire everybody. And if you're in one of those, if you're in LA City right now, or LA County, and you're a sheriff's deputy or you're an LAPD guy or woman, you have to convince your chief or your sheriff to say, fuck you. And you have to back them up. And you have to be willing, when the time comes, when the governor tries to fire somebody, or the mayor or the city council tries to fire somebody, you have to walk off the job.
Yeah, I mean, look, again, we disagree on this one, because it's tough to put food on your table these days. Like, I look at that gym owner who we had on the show a few weeks ago, right? That guy, what is he? Fucking $400,000 in debt. What was it for? Were you guys here then? Was it $415,000?
I mean, it's $15,000 a day. So by now it's probably $500,000.
And like, man, that guy is fucked. Like it or not, this is what happens. And like, shit, there's even days where I worry about the media company and things that we're doing, where it's just like, will somebody just shut this off because they don't like what we're saying?
Well, they can try. I mean, look, the internet is big.
It is.
And our people are pretty well connected, so we'll be able to reach out to them either way. But yeah, I think about it too. But to be honest, I can't sit here and say that I was willing to give my life for this country when I'm not willing to give my comfort for it. Mm-hmm. That doesn't make sense to me. You're either in or out in this fight. I'm done. I'm done with it. I'm done with all these fucking assholes. I'm done with the capitulation. I'm done with the fucking cowardice. Fuck that. This shit has got to stop.
And I understand it. I just feel like more and more, and I mean, I keep having conversations with people about this every day, right? Because like across the network, I think there's like 16 million monthly listeners. And I mean, it's gotten crazy and great. Like when we're unbelievably grateful. But I have conversations with people in the street fucking every 2 days of like, hey man, I feel like little by little, the government's just taking our shit, and, freedom of speech and everything else is going out the window. And especially the mask thing has become a huge thing on both sides. I mean, I obviously fucking hate it.
I don't give a fuck about the mask. I mean, it's annoying and shit.
No, but
their ability to make us do that is something I'm uncomfortable with, but that's not something that stops me from putting food on my table.
I understand that, but
so
I just mean
I'll deal with that.
All these little things in life keep adding up for more and more things they're taking away from us and our freedom as Americans. I don't know what to do about it. That's why I'm having this conversation.
Well, I mean, the first thing you have to do is identify the problem. The problem is that the government and people in it have decided amongst themselves over the last however many years that they don't give a fuck about the Constitution, and they know better than you. They're like lords and wardens and kings and princes back in the day. They think they know better than you because you're some illiterate farmer, you're a restaurant worker, you work at a fucking media company, but you're not in politics. You're not a lawyer. How do you know? Like, I know because it's my goddamn life, fuckface. That's how I know. And I've been living it this whole time without any help from you.
Yeah.
Doing a fine job. I don't need your fucking help. That's the first thing. The second thing is, what is the seat of power in America? It's not that piece of paper over there with words on it. That only matters. Words, it's like Tinkerbell. It only matters if we all believe it.
Right.
And if we decide not to believe it, and that's what we're doing right now by allowing this shit, if we decide not to believe it, then America is not America anymore. And let's just fucking quit this shit and figure out a new plan. Because that's just what it is.
But that's what I feel that it is. I don't feel America is America anymore, to be honest with you.
No.
Me personally, I don't. It is drastically different than what we grew up in. And truthfully, to me, and I don't know if it's an age thing or whatever, because I'm super young, very, very young, probably 32 or 31. No one really knows my age, but...
I checked, it's 29?
Yeah, 29, I believe. But in all sincerity, it changed for me in 2015 and 2016 during that, right before that election. Everything slowly started to change over the last 4 years. Other than that, everything was fine. Like whoever was president was president. Like you can't stop that, and whatever, man. You go out and vote, and that's a democracy.
I still don't care about the president. I don't care who is president, honestly. I mean, look, I think Trump would be better for us right now than Biden would.
Same. But looking back at it, with everything that is slowly starting to go away, maybe it's the pandemic. I don't fucking know. But little by little, it seems like we're losing all of our freedoms, and it does not feel like this is the America that I grew up in, at least. And it is rapidly changing. Now, some people like it, some people don't. I'm in the camp that I don't like this new America.
Right. Well, it doesn't. We can sit around and talk all day about what the issue is, but if there's no solution, then we may as well just fucking give up, right? The solution is, frankly, pretty simple. I mean, you imagine yourself alone in the Rose Bowl, and you're yelling at somebody on the 50-yard line to come here, or to stop. They're about to fall off the edge of the world or something.
Right.
They're never going to hear you. But the 110,000 people that'll fit in there saying the same thing all at the same time, everybody will hear you.
But I think a lot of people are afraid. And it's simple things, man. I mean, even going to the doctor a few days ago, like, I asked her, I was like, how's your job going? How are you doing? She's like, nobody ever asked me that. And I was like, wow, how are you doing in life? And she was like, it's fucking, and no lie, she said this, it's fucking weird. And I go, that was her exact phrase. And I go, what's so fucking weird about it? She goes, do you know we've had patients call here and say, I would prefer to come in and get my medication or shots or whatever the fuck they were getting when the entire lobby is cleared out because I'm afraid of getting COVID.
Yeah.
And literally, she's like, we've had to drop patients. We've had to change protocols and things like that over and over again. She was like, to the fuck where I don't know what's going on with people. And I don't know if this is going to change either. And I keep having these conversations every single day where people don't know if it's ever going to change or things are going to go back to normal and everything else. Shit, man. I'm a Hollywood guy. If you would have told me today, I was at the gym, an hour and a half ago. If you'd told me today, I'd be flipping through my phone in between sets and read that Warner Brothers was going to all online for all of 2021, and they were no longer going into theaters.
Yeah.
For movies that are easily cost all of them, Wonder Woman, fucking Dune, all that shit, cost $200 million. It's going to HBO. It's going to HBO Max. That will kill the theater industry. That is it. That is another profession that is done now after today. If you'd have told me that, fuck, man, 9 months ago, I would have said you're crazy. And here we are. I mean, that is an entire industry that is wiped out. And you might say, well, boo-hoo, there goes Hollywood. No, that's global. Because now the movies won't be in theaters anymore. You can't get that global box office. You can't bring that money into the country, blah, blah, blah.
For sure, but it's creative destruction, right? I mean, this happens all the time.
It does.
We build a new piece
Napster,
of technology that displaces old workers. It
DVDs,
happens every 20 to 25 years in the West, in most countries. And we deal with it. We've dealt with it every single time, and it's been fine every single time. Remember in the 1980s and 90s when all these people that had blue-collar jobs, they're like, look, everybody's going into tech. What am I going to do? You know what all of them did? They went into fucking tech, and they're still there now. And they're getting ready to retire now with a lot more money than they would have had before. This is a fucking solvable problem. The movie thing is, and so is this. It's just that people are pussies. You're right. They are fucking scared. And there's nothing wrong with being afraid. You're not a pussy if you're afraid. People are afraid of all sorts of things. You should be. That's how you tell the dangers around, right? It's a good bellwether for whether or not something is dangerous. But when our leaders, and when I say leaders, I mean people like us, I mean politicians, and in this case, especially police. If you're not leading from the front, if you're following orders as a leader, then you're fucked. And everybody else is going to fucking sit there with their hands in their pockets. But if you fucking stand up like Braveheart and say, follow me, that's how fucking wars get won. That's why on the infantry patch it says, follow me at the bottom. That's the whole goddamn purpose of this stuff. So,
But a lot of people are afraid to be William Wallace with their fucking, legs and arms put out in the east,
right?
north,
Well,
south,
I mean,
and west.
there's what, 450 million guns in this country. All we need now is some blue and white paint, I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, it'll never come to that, in my opinion, because
I don't think it will either.
the most frightening thing, if you're a politician or one of these people that's deeply entrenched in American politics, as is the people that Trump was so against, if you're in part of the institution of politics in America, a lobbyist or whatever you are, the thing that scares you the most isn't guns. Can't be. It's not drugs. It's not terrorism. It's none of that. It's people looking at you and be like, you know what? I'm not listening to that anymore. It's the same thing as a fucking actor or a writer. People no longer consume the content that I'm putting out. In their case, a politician, their content is law and order, rules, right? If people start ignoring it, it goes away. The only reason it exists is because we believe it exists. That's it. Gavin Newsom doesn't have the physical prowess to force people to do things. He doesn't have a military. He doesn't have any of that shit. He's writing words on paper, and people are fucking sulking and putting their fucking head down and going along with it. This is what happened in Nazi Germany. I'm not comparing COVID to fucking Nazis. Let's get that out of the way right quick before anybody gets weird about it. But ask yourself how it was possible for an entire country of people, and Germans were not evil people, but they allowed that shit to happen. Are we going to allow this stuff are we going to allow the erosion of what America is and allow people at the bottom to get taken advantage of because we're afraid? If we are, fine, let's do that. And I'll start my own goddamn country because I don't want to fucking know people like that.
The country, Dantopia. The thing that bothered me, by the way, to put a cap on this about the movie theater thing was that means people are more and more just going to be staying at home.
Yeah.
You're not going to be going
But
out
look,
living your life.
Let's clear some of this up too. Now that DVD sales are pretty much gone, the movie industry paying the amount it does and making the amount it does is completely bloated. It should be corrected. This is what the market does. It corrects itself. $7 for a fucking bucket of popcorn, that shit's done. That'll never happen again.
Oh,
ever.
Look, theaters are
It
absolutely
will
done after today.
never happen again.
No.
And because the only solution, there's two solutions. One is the drive-in stuff that's getting super popular now.
Which I love, by the way.
You're never going to be able to sell people a fucking $10 large soda at a drive-in because they'll bring one from home.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just how it's going to be. And the other one is streaming.
Yeah.
So you have those two options. You better figure it out. But the bloat,
something's going to be created because, I mean, even Hollywood was created as a fuck you to Thomas Edison.
pretty much, yeah.
Yeah. It was just like, we are going to move west. We're going to do our own thing.
Yeah.
So something's going to be created with movie theaters kind of going under.
I just don't want to be stuck in my house or have people. Everything that just comes to your house, everything we do is seemingly that.
But you'll build,
Chipotle.
Again, it's creative destruction. We always figure out a way. We'll build community
We
centers.
do, yeah.
We'll build every home in America will have a theater inside of it.
I know.
25 years from now.
No, well,
You know what I mean?
now. I mean, like literally.
Well, a lot of them,
I had
nice
my-
homes now do for sure.
Yeah.
But every home, 25 years from now, will have a theater that'll seat 10 to 15 people in it, and that's where we'll get our fucking community from after that. This will fix itself.
No,
it always does.
I get it.
I'm not
I get
worried
it.
about any of that
It's
stuff.
just going outside and enjoying life with strangers and everything else in the world. But I like the Chipotle thing we talked about with the fucking.
I do like Chipotle.
I know, but the new stores, you just call it in, and there's no employees, and it's just waiting on a shelf for you, and you
Fuck yeah. I don't want to see or talk to another human being ever.
You don't.
It makes your deliveries that much faster. So, like having a central hub location for everyone ordering that delivery Chipotle, you want it to be there, and you want to be able to crank it out.
By the way, there's no more 3 people in the world that love Chipotle more than the ones that are on that screen right now.
It's because we have no other options like around here.
Dude, you have a fucking
you live in
door.
Austin, you son of a bitch.
Yeah, I know, but like,
you mean here at the office?
Oh yeah, the office. I want to walk. I don't want to go to fucking Subway next door.
I like the Subway.
There's a dope taco truck right down the street.
There is a good taco truck,
Yeah, it's cash only though.
No, there's another one.
I
There's
don't
2.
carry cash.
La Tunita 512 brought
I'm
to
a
you by
Bitcoin boy.
It's fucking great.
Either way, to wrap this topic up, this is why I like our audience, because you're either military veteran, first responder, or somebody in your family is. By and large, in our audience, about 85% of people fall into that category. You know struggle, hard times, loss, death, and leadership. You've seen it before. You've done it before in a lot of these cases. It's time to do it now. I will never advocate for violence because I don't think it solves anything. All violent, if you start to get violent, whomever the biggest dick is just wins. Is that the kind of world you want to live in, where whomever is willing to go the farthest and put aside their morality just to win, that person wins? Like the person with the most flexible ethics wins wars frequently when it's a civil war type situation, right? I don't want to live in a world that is dominated by people who are assholes. I want to live in a world that is dominated by you and you and you and your own home, right? And then when we go outside of our home, whoever's around us, we all decide collectively, all right, we're going to behave this way, but you can do whatever you want, but we're all going to behave this way, right? And then you get bigger into a city, into a county, into a state, into this country. And if it doesn't work that way, then I don't want to be part of it. And I don't think a lot of you guys do either. The amount of DMs I get, people keep asking me, when is it time to do something? It was time to do something 5 years ago. And now we're playing catch up, and things are going to get messy. So if you know police officers, if you are one, you got to step up. You have to take the hit. You have to convince your command to do the right thing, and you have to support them when they do it, even if it means everybody gets fired. It's just the way it is. It's the way unions have worked for fucking 200 years, my man. Like you look at that and say people aren't going to be willing to lose their jobs. The Bally's thing there in Vegas lasted for fucking 14 years. They were on strike for 14 years, right? Obviously they hired scabs and blah, blah, blah. Yeah. But they were on strike for 14 years and they finally won. And they made a fuckload of money too. Back pay, all this stuff. Your power isn't in the government. It's not in that flag. It's not even in that piece of paper over there. It's in your individual determinism and how you choose to associate that with other people and your collective power. That's how it works. And if you're not willing to use it, then you're going to lose. That's how there's no way to win unless you do that shit together. Unless police take stands against this bullshit, and unless people support them. It's the only way it works.
Well, we'll see what happens here because this is going to get worse. Especially what they allegedly claim there was a record number of deaths today due to COVID. We'll see. 4 of those people got shot, but I think they died of COVID before they bled out all the way. So we'll see what happens there. But look, this is happening more and more in every single city, and shutdowns keep happening. So we'll find out. Next up, Marines are testing for LSD in North Carolina now. That's a fun thing. The Marine Corps is conducting random drug testing at one base in North Carolina because of reports that personnel there are using the hallucinogenic. I'm not going to say that right today.
Hallucinogenic drug lysergic acid diethylamide, better known as LSD.
Yeah, we could have just said LSD. I don't think anybody needed the medical term.
Well, it's important to know what the chemicals are inside of it so you can recreate it at home.
Ah, there it is.
Right. Every drug dealer I ever had said you could not test for LSD. So
you can absolutely test for LSD.
Yeah, they lied to us.
Yeah.
Didn't they?
It's not easy, and it costs a fuckload of money too. It costs way more than a normal drug test.
The 2nd Marine Division in Jacksonville, North Carolina, has conducted nearly 4,000 random tests for LSD since the start of the summer. Major General Francis L. Donovan, the division commander, said the recent rise in LSD use among sailors and Marines on the base has prompted them to change how they test for illegal substances. Now, the Marine Corps officials have said several troops have registered positive for LSD since the testing began, and they could face non-judicial punishment, a dishonorable discharge, or time at the military corrections facility.
Yeah. By the way,
what are the chances that you're responsible
I've
for
got to
this, by the way?
be a little bit. I mean, LSD's been used in the military for a very long time for the reason that Giorgio mentioned, which is difficult to test for, or they never tested for it before. I don't know what got them onto this. Probably some dude that got caught with something and he ratted everybody else out. That's usually how it works. But this is really interesting. The fact that it happened in Lejeune, fucking 50 minutes north of where we live for the last little while, doing this show and me talking about this stuff all the time.
Yeah.
It seems like I'm probably at least somewhat responsible for some of that.
Yeah. Or all of responsible.
Maybe I would encourage you all to be more careful about the way you do things. You know what I mean?
Let me ask you a serious question. Why are people taking acid in the military?
Well, they want to get fucked up on something other than alcohol, and everything else is pretty easy to test for. And it also stays in your system a long time. If you're a habitual marijuana smoker, it's anywhere from 30 to 45 days it'll stay in your system. Same thing for methamphetamine, same thing for MDMA.
What about coke? How long is coke stay in your
Cocaine's
system?
like 72 hours typically.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, which is why if you get popped for cocaine, you have a real problem.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's 72
You did
hours.
it recently, yeah.
Yes.
Any like John Jones getting popped for cocaine, I'm like, dude, you just did cocaine like 12 minutes ago? What the fuck?
Like Dustin Johnson the same
Yeah,
way.
it's
when
so
he
stupid.
got suspended from the PGA Tour for cocaine.
Yep.
It was probably what
Yeah,
they
and again, I don't know
was.
why the PGA is testing for cocaine.
I mean, it's not
Like,
it's not
there's
gonna
no
help your
way
game.
cocaine is making you better at golf.
No.
There's no fucking way that is the case. Anyways, yeah, they use it because, one, it's cheap, too. Like, LSD is very cheap, and Marines and soldiers are broke as fuck.
Yeah.
I mean, they're making, like, if you're an E1 private, you got to be making, I don't even know what it is right now, but it's probably, like, fucking maybe $1,100 a month, like, total.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Like,
Yeah.
when I was in E3 back in, God, when was that? Like 2005. I think I made $1,600 a month.
The Army, or at least Google, claims it's $1,700 a month for a private E1.
Still, that's
Terrible.
That's awful.
I mean,
that's not even $20,000 a year.
That's about what I made as an E3 15 years ago. So that's how much the military has been keeping up with inflation.
Jesus
right?
Christ.
Yeah, it's nonsense.
All right, so the acid thing makes sense. How much is a tab of acid? It's been a long time.
I don't know, man. I mean, it depends on if what you're getting is even real, to be honest. But they're popping hot for it, so it must be, right?
Yeah.
It's actually made a resurgence lately. There's a lot more chemists around America these days than there were before. I don't know.
Somebody tried to sell us acid the other day.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I've got plenty of my own, but
right. How much is it? How much is a fucking tab of acid?
you know what? I don't even know. I don't know.
$5 to $10, depending on how many you buy.
There it is. Thank you, Giorgio.
$5 to $10
God, we could
per
dance
hit.
around this all night. I know
That's off the
somebody in this
dome.
motherfucker knew.
That's off the dome. We didn't have to look.
I
that
never actually pay for that. So I'm not sure what the street value is these days, but that's probably right. I mean,
Okay.
anywhere from $5 to $10 a hit is normal. And the difference is, you're not going to build up a tolerance over time to LSD. It's not like you're going to have to keep taking more like you do with pills or something like that. You take one hit and you may be high you may not get high at all, first of all, but you may be high for 45 minutes. You may be high for fucking 2 days. You
Sure.
don't know.
It's
You know what I
15
mean?
hours for me, and I have a hard time tripping 2 days in a row.
I do, and I love that. My favorite thing is to go to sleep and wake up still high.
Ooh, I do like that. Like
Yeah.
when
Can
you're
You
really
do that
rolling.
on- Can you sleep on acid?
I can, yeah. I mean, after years and years of doing it. But
Right.
silver tab acid, man, it would like 16 hours is the norm for me.
Oof.
Fucking, what do you mean?
That's
oof?
too much.
so it doesn't keep
That's
you
too
awake
long.
like mushrooms.
Mushrooms won't keep me awake either.
No.
Oh,
But I've-
microdosing acid's how I stay awake.
I've done a lot of stuff, right?
Okay.
I don't
so
know.
you just build up a tolerance.
I don't know. Well, it's not a tolerance. It's just like, it's like having constant back pain and you stop noticing it. Like I can be completely fucked right now and you would never know.
Right.
Until I completely black out. You've been with me before.
Yeah.
I've had like 25 drinks.
Yeah.
And I'm like normal. And then all of a sudden I'm like drooling in the corner somewhere.
Yeah.
After a sip. Yeah, it's just how it works. I don't know.
If you're drooling in a corner, you might as well be drooling in the corner on a ghost bed from ghostbed.com/Drinkin Bros. They love specifically when we talk about heavy drug use and then sleeping in a very, very comfortable mattress. Let's face it, that's probably why they built the goddamn things. If you're going to sleep in comfort and lay your head full of acid down on a pillow, it might as well be on a ghost pillow, which are free. You get 2 free pillows right now when you buy a mattress because the Black Friday deal is extended. 30% for everyone. Usually we say military, first responder, teachers, everyone. They finally included the rest of us dummies. All of us get 30% off right now, and I believe that'll go through the end of this week. Go to ghostbed.com/Drinkin Bros today, where, as always, they got a 36-month pay-as-you-go program, no interest there. So if you're a heavy drug user, or if you live in one of these cities where they're shutting down your bars, your restaurants, your gyms, and all that stuff, and you're going to be inside your house a lot, you might as well sleep in comfort on a no-interest plan for 36 months. So for $35, man, you could a month, you could sleep like a goddamn king. Go to ghostbed.com/Drinkin Bros today. Speaking of drugs, Colombia is considering making everyone's lives better after 40 years of U.S.-backed anti-drug policy that criminalizes the coca leaf. Colombian Senator Ivan Morelanda. My Spanish is on point today. Shut the fuck up, Giorgio. It is. I
was agreeing with you.
You were not agreeing with me.
I was at WTF the other day watching a band, and the guy, super white dude, and he's sang like 4 different songs in Spanish, and I got mad. Not because I don't like hearing Spanish.
Yeah.
He was really. I was like, you're fucking flexing on me hard right now.
Yeah.
Like there's something biologically telling me like I have to attack this guy right now.
Yeah. Were you turned on a little bit?
Pardon me? Turned on?
Yeah.
No, I don't get turned on by that.
By Spanish?
No, okay. By Spanish women for sure, but not by fucking some dude playing a guitar.
If you want to get angry, Google Chet Hanks patois. That has been going around for the last 24 hours, where he is full Jamaican. That is Tom Hanks' son, and patois. It is
the best Hanks.
He's my favorite Hanks by far, but that will really get you riled up. There's been a debate for the last 24 hours on the internet, but in Colombia, these members of Congress want to change tact. The bill that attempts to create a legal industry that distributes cocaine to users for pain relief, non-recreational use.
It's going to be the same thing. Do you remember when weed first got medically legalized in California?
Yes, I still have my card.
Yeah, mine's at home. From the time I decided I wanted weed, I had no card, nothing. I'd moved to Oakland 2 weeks prior.
Right.
From the time I decided I wanted it until the time I had actual weed in my body. Was about an hour and 45 minutes. I went on the internet and found a doctor. I'm like, hey, you got any appointments? He goes, yeah, come on now. And I went up there. I talked to him for 10 minutes. He fucking printed me a card out of this little thing, and I walked right down the street to the dispensary and bought my shit. This is exactly what this is going to be.
Correct.
So you're going to be able to buy cocaine at Walmart, basically.
Yeah, which is rad.
Which is where it should have been sold in the first place.
Which is rad. Because, I mean, look, if it's in Colombia.
Right.
It's the best shit that on the planet. So I'm fine with it. But what they're hoping that it will do is bring hundreds of thousands of illegal coca farmers out of the shadows.
They're trying to get rid of the cartels, basically.
Exactly, and into like a homegrown industry here.
So they're going to buy the whole thing.
Which is kind of what happened with marijuana here, right?
It is, yeah.
Remember you had to meet back in the day before the California shit you were talking about?
Yeah.
Meet some weed dealer in some weird place.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of seeds in it. And you're like,
I don't
what
mind
the fuck am I smoking?
Drug dealers, by and large. I've never really had a problem with them, but just people that only deal weed, not a big fan of those people. I don't know why.
Yeah.
This creeped me out a little bit.
Yeah.
So I actually like what the government's doing here because it's based in math. The state, the plan is to buy their, let them keep farming, and they buy the raw coca at market price from them.
Oh, that's nice.
Because here's what's been happening. The programs they've been running for eradication, which is dumping poison on stuff, running military operations, seizures, all this other bullshit, has been costing them about $1 billion a year, right? Mm-hmm. To buy all of the coca from the farmers, it's going to cost them $680 million a year.
Whew.
So they just saved $320 million, plus they've got all the cocaine.
Yeah.
Wouldn't it be funny if the fucking Colombian government, they just all got hooked on cocaine? Like they didn't do any of the shit they're talking about. They just keep it all and they're just like doing coke.
I'm
the whole
sure
time.
that's what happens. Like
Of
behind
course
the
it is.
scenes, like
I hope
I'm
so.
sure that's what happens.
It also has the benefit of stopping about 25% of the deforestation that happens in Colombia each year because they cut down entire forests to stop people from being able to traffic cocaine and stuff like that. I think this is good. They want to sell. They also want to sell part of the plant to artisanal industries. They use it for other stuff. I didn't know cocoa plants were used for other stuff.
Oh, yeah.
They're used for analgesics and stuff like that, pain management. But
Yeah.
I didn't know the raw material was sold for other stuff. So apparently that's a thing too. Baking flour is a thing
Yeah.
they make out of cocaine or out of cocoa plants.
There's a lot actually.
The only problem that I have with this really is that
You're not going to be able to get it.
anytime the state seizes means of production, they can set whatever price and whatever supply they want, right? That's a problem for me. I don't want cocaine prices to go up. Why pass that on to us? You're saving $320 million a year just on enforcement.
Right. Well,
Sell it to me at the cost that they were going to sell it for, and you've made $1 billion to $2 billion just for the government of fucking Colombia.
once you get everybody on board, though,
Not me
like-
specifically, because
right.
I don't do drugs.
Right. Of course. Of course.
The royal me is what I was referring to.
Yeah, obviously. What you have to do is get it to be like marijuana, where it's in so many places that you can't overcharge for shit like that.
Right, yeah. And it eventually the market will do that.
Yeah.
For sure.
The only
So
cocaine isn't one of those drugs, though, where you're just like, oh, man, I'm going to...
does cocaine would free cocaine fuck your life up as bad as having to pay for it would? Think about that for a minute. Because the problem with cocaine...
I think the money is what prevents people from getting hooked on it. Because
Maybe, yeah.
I can't afford that shit.
No.
100%.
Yeah, I think
Yes.
that's probably a big thing. But when you get hooked on cocaine, what are the results of that? It's that you have to go steal shit. I mean, the crime comes from stuff
Crime.
like that because you can't afford it. What if it was this free cocaine? Like you get X amount of free cocaine per month. You get a fucking quarter ounce of cocaine per family per month.
Okay. So I think, me personally, I think people wouldn't be
This
able
is
to
the
handle
dumbest
it.
shit we've ever done on this.
It's
show.
actually not. It's actually
good
not.
with subsidizing cocaine, I think, is a platform you need for 2024.
Yeah. But here's the thing. You look at the opioid crisis,
It'd be
right?
Adderall for me anyways.
But if you look at the opioid crisis that's going on right now, if people can't handle fucking Vicodin and bullshit, imagine
Dude,
cocaine.
no, opiates are way worse than cocaine.
No,
Way worse.
dude.
Far
They are
stronger.
Far
It's
far
not even
more
comparable.
addictive.
The people that I've seen in my life, like in LA, the ones that have fucking bottomed out were the coke users.
Of
Okay,
course,
so you're saying
because they couldn't
recreation.
afford it anymore, right? And your life
No, they were
crumbles.
they were terrible on it.
You're
Like,
not familiar with the Northeast and their giant problem with
Yeah, go to
heroin.
Wall Street. Those guys last forever. But yeah, heroin. So it's not a matter of the type of people that use the drug or whatever the fuck else. It's a matter of how the drug bonds to your system. So opiates, there is an opioid receptor. There are opioid receptors in your brain made specifically to receive that drug. And once they become blocked, it's hard to push things through there again, right? So you develop tolerances almost immediately. Cocaine is similar to that, but only in effect. It's because it's the same thing with MDMA. It makes you release pleasure hormones like oxytocin and serotonin and shit like that. And your body gets used to it, it stops producing it naturally. Well, if you take TRT, your body stops producing testosterone naturally. But you can take a little HCG and it fixes that problem.
Right.
So part of my program is to figure out how to fix that with a little injection. I take a couple of injections a week, do all the cocaine I want, just fine. I don't see the fucking problem here. This to me, not that I would do that with my life. I'm just saying that's a problem you can figure out.
by the end of your life though, you'd be on like 80 injections just so you could be a great
No,
cocaine addict.
it doesn't work that way. The receptor for that is either open or it's not. It's a 1 or a 0. There's no degree of the receptor being open. It's either open or it's not.
Talk to Stevie Nicks and Artie Lang about it.
They didn't have my plan. Just saying.
Pull up Artie Lang's
Artie's,
face.
his
I like
new nose. His new nose looks great.
Yeah, it does.
Did he get one?
Oh, yeah,
I
he got
only
it all
saw him
redone.
with the smashed in nose. Did he get show me the new nose there?
I like how today of all days,
Put that on screen.
I'd rather
that's
do
that's not recent.
The old nose.
No, but put that on screen for the people there, the old one.
Yeah, there's
show the old one first.
that's the before and after of the reconstruction. So that's a
we
good
go.
shot.
Okay, there we go. All right, so that's the old one, right? When he blew out his septum and all that other shit. So that's the new one. The new one looks great. Holy
Yeah,
shit.
I mean, he was never the best looking guy in the world anyway. So you didn't have
but
to
the
do-
guy on the left looked like a pigeon who flew into a building.
That is a nightmare hobo on the left.
Yes.
Yeah,
Like,
that's like
yes.
if Home Alone 2, the guy and the lady in the park would have been a man. It would have been played.
Is that
by
on
guy.
screen right now?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh God, look at that.
It's real bad.
That's what happens when you legalize cocaine.
No.
In my opinion.
Nope. Look, folks.
Stevie Nicks had to have it blown into her asshole by an assistant through a straw.
So do pretty much every rock singer that exists.
Rod Stewart.
Was he getting coke blown on his ass?
I'm not going to say any names, but if you're a singer in a very popular band, and you do cocaine, it's going up your butt.
Yeah, they don't want to mess up their throat.
Yeah.
I had to make a little bit of tepid bathwater and get baby syringes all the time from local CVS's so the singer could do it before they went on stage.
No way.
Yeah. So here's the
Did you put it in their assholes?
No, but they put.
You hesitated, like real bad on that one, dude.
He spread the cheeks, but somebody else blew the fucking coke.
Exactly.
Okay, I got you.
Yeah.
Got you.
I was the guy, so I was strong enough to hold those open,
Yeah,
to really get it up in there.
No, for real. This situation with Artie Lang's nose. I'm writing a book right now. I'm not even kidding. I haven't settled on the title yet. I probably will have to change it because you won't be able to publish it anywhere. But the working title right now is How to Drink and Do Drugs Like an Adult.
I like that.
One of the things you can do if you're snorting things on a semi-regular basis is just run your hand underwater and do this. Just put water up there and clean it out so it's not sitting there burning a hole in you. Hey, how about that? We clean things. Like, goddamn, dude, this isn't fucking rocket surgery.
No,
You're
it's
doing
not.
drugs, man. People have been doing it for years. I've been doing drugs since I was a very young person, and I've never had any problems at all with it, ever.
It depends on the person, though.
It does, but people don't know the tricks.
Yeesh.
You know what I mean? Like, it depends. Some people will be able to run a 5-minute mile. Some people will never be able to do that.
Yeah.
But most people can get somewhere in the 6 to 8 range for sure.
Sure.
Right? I'm just trying to get cocaine users into that 6 to 8 minute mile.
Yeah.
That's all I'm doing.
Yeah.
Just fucking come on over to the dark side.
I
folks.
wish we could put the rainbow up, like the more you know, like a nice PSA.
No, we'd probably get
drug
sued
use
for
at the
that.
end of this. Yeah, probably.
Fucking NBC.
Probably would. But if you're doing cocaine and you want to know if it's right, no, I'm kidding. I'm not going to the next sponsor.
No.
Like that. We already have to do a make good for somebody else for something. No, our next sponsor is FelixGrayGlasses.com.
Oh, and you lose your vision from doing cocaine.
/Drinkin Bros. Yes. Look, saying that all blue light glasses are the same is kind of like saying Honda Civics are the same as Corvettes. We know what we want to be driving here. I want that new Bronco, actually. We'll see. It's supposed to come out.
It doesn't
in
look bad.
March. I know, March. We'll see.
Yeah.
Most blue light glasses don't filter enough blue light in the light spectrum wavelength that matters. FelixGrayGlasses.com /Drinkin Bros. 15 times more. It blocks the screens. Every American right now, on average, is spending about 11 to 13 hours in front of screens. Through COVID, it's probably higher, to be honest with you.
Yeah, who really knows?
These glasses are the only thing that blocks it out. They are stolen every time. Every time we do one of these, I want to pull up the glasses, but everybody fucking steals these things. I swear to God, it is the most beloved item we have here, and everybody who comes in steals the fucking glasses from Felix Gray.
Well, they also look really nice too. They have a bunch of different frames. So.
And they look rad. So girls will take them just because they're fucking cool looking. But
yeah, you don't look like you're in Back to the Future with some weird ass design.
No, dude. They look great on you. So they've got a million different frames on there. It'll save your fucking eyesight. I promise you that. I wear them at home all the time when I'm writing because I'm just staring at a fucking computer screen all day. So look, most of these will run you if you're looking at these other fucking companies, it's like $145. These are like $95, or if you add your prescription in them, you can throw them an extra 40. It's great, and they last forever. They've got a million frames. So if you don't love your glasses in the first 30 days with these fucking things, they have in-house customer service care. They'll take care of them and exchange it and return it and all that stuff. Go to FelixGrayGlasses.com /Drinkin Bros for the best blue light glasses on the market. That's FELIXGRAY glasses.com/Drinkin Bros. You get free shipping, free returns, free exchanges if you don't like them. FelixGrayGlasses.com/Drinkin Bros. These are the jams. Do you have them up on the screen? Pop them up. Like, they've got 1 million frames. Those are the ones that fucking Amiri King stole, by the way.
Yeah, that son of a bitch.
Is that on screen right now? Put it on screen. Those are the ones that Amiri King stole when he was
they
here.
look like the...
we get all of these stolen from us.
They look like the MLK glasses, and I bring that up because one of my... sitting here talking about fucking doing cocaine for 25 minutes is not one of our proudest moments on this show. But me making Dave Rubin blush because I was talking about MLK dropping loads.
And people yesterday, yeah.
That was what I think that might
All-timer.
be the defining moment of my entire career.
Yeah, I agree.
He was on the forefront of the anti-PC movement a long time ago. It's been on there for a while.
Time ago.
And I'm really happy to be able to embarrass somebody like that.
Yeah, man. And look, if you're reading books, because everybody's reading, it's a big book season right now. By the way, mine is out next week. 4 More Sleeps till As the Sun Rises. It Dawns on Him is out. I'm reading another great book right now, which is Green Lights, McConaughey's book. Holy shit, dude. That book is fucking great, and the audiobook is dope as shit. We're hoping to get him on soon. But man, that is a great book. But if you're staring at the fucking screen reading this shit, you've got to get these glasses, man. I'm telling you, it saves your eyes. You're going to go blind with all this stupid shit because you're stuck in a house all day and theaters are closed now. Congratulations, fuckers.
Have theaters and restaurants being closed kept you personally at home more than you have been before?
Yes,
because I have
very much so.
I haven't noticed that, but I'm not a huge, I'm not going out to clubs and shit all the time. And I don't have kids to take out anywhere, and I cook for myself a lot.
Very much so. So we do that a lot with kids. So you're kind of finding new things. The drive-in, dude, has been the big one. So we've been going to a lot of drive-ins because the theaters are closed. And I love the drive-in. I enjoy the drive-in. However, it is weather-proof. So, like, we were going to go Saturday, and it was raining. Shit like that. Those are some of the factors that you're like, oh man, I never had to think about that. Next up, Austin Mayor Steve Adler. This piece of shit in this town.
Yeah, there's 11.
Jesus
There's 11, by the way. The Daily Wire, if you're subscribed to them, has an article outlining 11 liberal politicians who. I mean, it's the people you would expect.
Gavin Newsom.
Newsom's one of them. Adler's one of them.
Adler, Cuomo.
Lori Lightfoot, Cuomo. There's 11 total that they outline what they said and what they did. It's really funny.
So Lori Lightfoot is the mayor of Chicago. Hers was going out in the streets.
You can't say her name one more time, though. If you say her name 3 times,
she appears.
Beetlejuice. So you don't want to do that.
Yep. She was the one who was out in the streets with without
yelling
a mask.
into a megaphone.
Yeah, for Biden. Adler
Chuck
was
Schumer.
the one in this city who decided, hey, man, I'm going to tell everyone to stay at home and don't leave your house. And he recorded the video in Cabo. Him and 8 of his best friends. You can put that piece of shit on screen. Go ahead. Steve Adler, he took a vacation to Mexico in a private jet because he's super liberal, and 8 of his best friends were there, and then he told everyone to stay home by making a video from Cabo San Lucas. If you've not been to Cabo, it is amazing and beautiful. It is definitely warmer than it is here right now, and if you can leave just to beat the weather, as Jay-Z used to say, and go anywhere you want, Cabo's definitely a place to do it. However, if you're the mayor of a city who's shutting down bars and restaurants, not real cool to say stay at home, especially when you get popped for something like this.
Yeah, he made the announcement and then attended his daughter's wedding? Hosted his daughter's
hosted
wedding.
his daughter's wedding. There you go.
And it was not distance, it was not mask. And then immediately afterwards, they all got on a plane together and flew to Cabo. So March 23rd is his birthday.
Is it really?
Yeah, and I'm going to go ahead and declare March 23rd of every year moving forward. Fuck Steve Adler Day. You're a cunt. You are a giant piece of shit. Anybody that would fucking... This is the problem. If you're wondering whether or not you live in a plutocracy right now, and if you don't know what that is, I'll get into it in a second. But if you're wondering if you're living in a plutocracy or not, look at the people that are wealthy and powerful telling you what to do and then doing the exact opposite because they have the money and the power to do so. That is a plutocracy.
Yes,
right?
And it reminds me of what AOC is doing now. Right before we went on air, I was like, dude, we'll talk about this story as well. She has a Tax the Rich sweatshirt, Hot Bob, if you can pull that up. It is called Tax the Rich sweatshirt that she is selling. And,
That's funny. I've got a shirt that has Ben Franklin on it. It says "Tax this dick."
There it is. First thing you pull up, tax the rich. There it is. You can put that on screen. This is AOC. This is from her website. She's selling tax the rich sweatshirts right now
where the
for
proceeds
$58. When she was called out on the internet today by a gajillion people for the high price of a cheap ass sweatshirt, she says the reason why it is that high is we are actually paying American workers, and that's the prices of things. Here's the thing, AOC. No one can afford a $58 sweatshirt.
Well, here, some guy, Stephen, what does that say? Punwazi? I don't know how to fucking say that, but he says, if you made it in a Vietnamese factory that pays workers a fair wage after imports and duties, you're looking at about market price of $35. At an MOQ, like if you buy 50,000 units at a time, which is typical, that would be the price for it. Where's this money going? It's on her website. It's on AOC.com.
Yeah.
Go into her pocket.
It's going to her campaign or whatever the fuck she's doing.
How can a fucking politician monetize their image?
According to the New York Post, I'll look at this on the website too, but it says purchases are campaign contributions.
Oh,
yes,
wow.
They are. Dan Crenshaw is selling hats too, by the way. I understand that if it's going to the campaign, right? But for $58 to sell a fucking sweatshirt and then saying the reason why it's $58 is because we have to pay, union and all that other shit.
That's double marketing.
Yeah.
That's great for her. That's great for her base.
Yeah, it is. I don't care about her or this. She's incompetent and ineffectual. She will never amount to anything.
Yeah, but this is one of the biggest stories of the day where it's just like, all right, great. But what happens when you become, do you not want to become rich has been the debate, right? So if you're AOC, do you not want to become, is there a dollar amount that you want to stay at every year that you're going to tell everybody else to stay at? By saying tax the rich, that is such a fucking broad, vague statement.
It's just stupid in general. It's based on the premise that somehow success makes you immoral. Right?
Yeah.
In free market capitalism, every single human being in this country should be fighting to succeed as much as they possibly can. And the second thing they should do after success is to make sure that other people can succeed as well. That's what free market capitalism does.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it has for years. That's why I talked about it, or I'll talk about it tomorrow on American Party, but the American citizen gives more money during tragedies, during tsunamis, hurricanes, earthquakes, acts of terrorism, plagues, whatever it is. The American citizen, the private citizen in America, gives more money than almost every government on earth other than the United States. You know what I mean? It's this is the social contract. We're going to fucking keep things safe. We're going to give you these business opportunities. And when you become rich, I expect you to fucking help people. That has been the social contract in this country for years. Now, a lot of people have not played by those rules. There are a lot of assholes out there that fucking hoard their money and all that stuff. But this is the social contract. The middle and upper middle class in America, they're the people that are giving all this money. It's not the billionaires that are doing it. It's the middle and upper middle class. Because the billionaires are spending their money lobbying Congress.
Right.
You know what I mean? They're not fucking donating to charity unless it's a tax write-off. This is the social contract that exists in America. And it doesn't depend on people being good. It demands that people be good. That's the difference. It's a big fucking difference.
For me, that's the rule of law that I live by personally. My dream is to be like Ben Affleck coming in, and Giorgio's my little Matt Damon, and he's not here one day when I pick him up, when I come into work, and he's not here because he's made so much money off of his OnlyFans account that he is rich enough that he no longer has to work this job anymore. It is just Giorgio and OnlyFans. It is $5 to see this man's penis. And that's all I want for you. I want you to be so rich that you're not here one day.
This is why I don't tell you guys how it's going, because one day that's how I'm going to leave.
Hey, do you know?
But I want you to be, realize I want you to be successful.
Did anybody else?
I want just Giorgio and OnlyFans to blow up.
Did anybody else follow this? I don't know. Maybe it's just my fucking Asperger's here. But you're talking about Ben Affleck, and all of a sudden you're basically quoting him from Good Will Hunting, telling Matt Damon that he hopes he shows up one day and he's not there anymore. Are you calling him Matt Damon? Because I don't see it.
Yes, and metaphorically, obviously.
Have you
Doesn't
been
look like
solving
Matt
math
Damon.
problems in the back room?
No, but he's been showing his penis on his OnlyFans account, and
That's
that is
basically the
very
same
the
thing.
same.
I've been measuring things that aren't there, Dan, so I can call that theoretical math.
There it is.
That's not what that means, but
For $5, you can see Giorgio's penis at Just Giorgio on OnlyFans. And if he makes enough money and he's not here one day, know that I support you, Giorgio. Like I don't. That's what capitalism is. I want you to succeed.
Yeah.
I want all you to. Hot Bob. I want to see you get the modeling contract that you deserve and never come back, like never be back here again. Where
Yeah.
it's just like, all right, well, where's Hot Bob? He's fucking modeling for Calvin Klein. He's doing
but
all
he
of their
would
jeans.
But he would still be watching our show and providing us revenue. That's the beauty of capitalism. In a communist society, when you become rich, you're out now. I'm done. Fucking finally, I'm rich. I don't have to do anything anymore. Right? I'm done. But in capitalism, when you get rich, I still got to buy all this shit. I still have to buy food. Still got to buy booze. I still got to buy clothes. Other people are still benefiting from the fact that I am wealthy at that point.
So,
right?
by the way,
that is why capitalism fucking works. By the way,
Speaking of which, one of the people who stopped me in downtown Austin the other day asked me only a question about you, and they said if they go, because everybody tries to figure you out personally,
Good
and
luck.
so I hear that all the time, right? And the guy said to me, he goes, "Hey man, serious question. What if Dan just got like $30 million? Would he disappear from the face of the earth and we would never see him again?" And I said, "I don't know. I'll ask him on the show. What would you do?
no, I would definitely not disappear.
Would you still be doing this?"
Yes.
Okay.
Every single day.
There's your answer. There's your
I
answer.
would be doing this, and I would be helping other people do it as well.
Okay.
That's it.
Yeah. All right.
Plus the cocaine thing.
Yeah, obviously.
I don't know if I could do anymore. It's not a money problem for me at this point. It's a fucking time in the day problem. Like I don't have, unless I hire somebody like Snoop Dogg's got his blunt roller, I have a fucking dude that's cutting out lines for me all day.
Yeah.
That's the ultimate flex in American life, particularly if you live in a northeastern state, to have somebody just following you around with cocaine ready to go all the time, right?
Yeah.
Why not? He's a cocaine concierge.
Will you look up Ventura? Somebody sent me in the Ventura County Sheriff's Department. I think this is actually happening in real time of what you just talked about at the top of the show. Mm-hmm. Yeah, will you read? Put that up on the screen and I'll just read it real quick.
Don't sass me, boy.
No, this is exactly what you were talking about. I
No,
believe.
I'm talking to him. He's trying to make it big.
Yeah, make it full
Yeah,
screen.
he,
here.
can't, he needs that Roman.
All right. It says the Ventura County Sheriff's Office is aware of Governor Newsom's latest stay-at-home orders and curfew that go into effect on Saturday, November 21st in 2020. In short, we will not be actively enforcing the curfew order. However, we will continue to respond to public safety concerns and provide law enforcement services wherever they are needed. We ask everyone that they do their part to avoid situations that may contribute to the spread of COVID-19. Thank you. I think this is exactly literally what you were asking for at the top of the show. This is where, so this was Jessie sent this.
Yeah, that's
in, my
by
wife.
yeah.
That's her county sheriff's department. So did nothing happen to them?
What are they going to do?
Yeah.
First of all, the governor doesn't have the authority to issue a law. He can make ordinances, and the sheriff can decide whether or not to enforce those. And there's only two entities in most cases. Sometimes there's recalls, but usually not for sheriffs. There's only two things that can pull a sheriff out of power. One is he or she breaks a law, and the governor and the state police come arrest that person under direct, like the governor has to physically be there for it to happen. The other one is to get voted out. Now I doubt the people in Orange and Ventura counties are going to vote out these two sheriffs. Let's be real about that.
Yeah.
Because people are fucking sick of this bullshit.
And I've been to Ventura, and I will say this: they figured it the fuck out for COVID, man. I enjoyed going to downtown and all that shit.
I don't know how to say this guy's
all the
name.
restaurants outdoors, but
He's got a fucking sweet mustache, though. His name is Bill Ayub. Ayub, maybe. I don't know how you say it, but fucking thanks, buddy. We appreciate it. I'm not even kidding.
Put him on the screen.
Yeah,
Put Bill up there. Look at it. Yeah, click on images. Look at that stash.
Yeah.
That is a fucking American right there.
That's
dude.
what fucking leadership looks like. And I'm not joking about his mustache. I'm serious. This right here is what fucking leadership looks like. This is what we are going to require to maintain our country as it is right now. It's the only way it fucking works. And you guys have to fucking support these people, and police have to pressure their command. Command has to make the right decision. We all have to stand together because this is not going to happen here.
Well, he did. And that mustache speaks volumes as well. That's a fucking powerful stash.
Seleckian.
Whew, that's a great one, man. I can grow a great one, but that's way better, man. Fuck me.
Who's the sheriff of Orange County? Can you
Don't
guys,
know,
can you find
actually.
that one?
Yeah.
Let's
Look it up and
let's give them a shout out as
we'll
well.
give them a shout out. I'll do the next sponsor. It is Raycon. Best headphones on the planet. This is easy for me to talk about because I wear these goddamn things every day to the gym. Fucking the best wireless headphones in the business. They're just mind altering. I want to say this about these guys. They're seamless with the Bluetooth and the pairing and all that shit. Some of them, it's like, all right, cool. Is this connected? Are we in? Are we good? Are we in? They've got a noise isolating fit, and you can listen to them right out of the box. So as soon as they get to you, boom, you're good to go. You recharge them in a little case, and it's like 6 hours, dude. Do your last 6 hours? Mine last 6 hours.
I mean, it's. I don't know if I ever have worn them for 6 consecutive hours, but I'll wear them for 45 to an hour and a half at a time.
Yeah. And
then throw them on my fucking desk and then come back and get them and put them back in. I would charge them like once every 2 weeks at this point.
I know, man. They're great. It's an absolute game changer. Go to buyraycon.com/Drinkin Bros and you get 15% off. That's buyraycon.
Yeah.
RAYCON.com/Drinkin Bros for 15% off. These are the only affordable wireless headphones in the business. The rest of that shit's like fucking $3,000, man. I feel
it's
like
ridiculous. It's $150 to like $400 for good headphones.
Yeah,
basically.
Yeah, but not here.
No.
So at buyraycon.com/Drinkin Bros, you get 15% off.
Yeah.
Last I checked, it knocked it down to like $65. Mine were so
Something
good.
like that.
I haven't had to buy another pair.
It's 65 or 75. If you're out there and you're a fucking music fan, if you listen to anything that has a lot of bass, like metal or hip hop or something like that, and you find a pair that have better bass than this, let me know.
Yeah,
because I haven't found one yet.
No, and you're not going to find them at a better price. And you know, we were talking about the sheriff here.
Oh, that's funny.
Jaron,
I don't know how you say your name. Carter says my Raycons have survived the wash and dry cycle twice and are still going strong. I don't know.
It's crazy.
I don't think
right?
they're supposed to do that.
No,
but you know, they are pretty quality. So.
But they are. Hammer the like button if you're watching on YouTube. Is that the guy? Did you pull up the sheriff?
That'd be Sheriff Don Barnes.
Don Barnes. That's a fucking name for a sheriff,
Fuck
too.
Yeah, it is. Look at is that full screen? Hey, Don Barnes means business.
Put his face
dude.
up there. Yeah, he looks like he might be getting ready to murder someone.
I'm in, dude. I'm all in for Don Barnes.
That's the look you get before he says, "What the fuck did you say to me?" Fuck
yeah,
face.
yeah.
Congratulations, Sheriff Barnes, on being a good fucking American.
Yeah.
Everybody appreciates it.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna sit here and rail on cops and demand shit of people without also giving credit to people that are doing the right thing.
Yeah.
Can't do that.
But the rest of California is definitely corrupt here, D'Anthony, with this next story. I know this feels like it was 60 years ago. Remember those fires in 2018?
17 and 18, yeah. 17 was the... In the
18 was that campfire.
Yeah, 18 was the Butte County fucking fire, and then there was obviously the ones this year in Santa Rosa and shit like that.
The Butte one destroyed like 4,500 homes.
Yeah.
22 people died. And yeah, man, residents saw billions of dollars of damage.
Butte was... the campfire was 85 people got killed and 14,000 homes got destroyed. It was 2017 where 22 people died in the Tubbs fire.
Yeah, dude, it feels like California has these every single year. I mean, I live there, and it was every single year.
I mean, there's not a lot of natural precipitation in a lot of these places. There are a lot of parks. People go out there and fucking do dumb shit and set stuff on fire. And you can't warn people any more than California warns them, to be frank. I mean, that's one thing they do pretty well is a message on put your fucking fire out. Don't throw cigarettes out the window, all this stuff.
But they never do controlled burns in California.
No, they don't.
And that's a fucking issue. But all of these residents who saw these billions of dollars worth of damage, you know, fuck, man, they still have not seen a single penny of this money.
No, the government has allotted $1.3 billion to rebuild, and they haven't seen a single penny.
Nope.
In almost 4 years now.
So that happened to me in Hurricane Sandy in New Jersey. Like FEMA comes in and they're like, "Oh my God, we're giving $3 billion in aid." Never saw a fucking cent of it, dude.
They should have just given you AIDS.
That would have been better.
At least then you get HGH and shit.
Yeah, dude. I'd be fucking more jacked than I already am. But instead, here we are, dude. They haven't seen a single penny. That's how this works. That's how the government works. You don't.
It is
you don't
how the government
see
works.
this fucking
And
money, man.
This is a good point too for people like Dakota and I did last week on American Party. We debated the student loan and I will call it a crisis. I believe it is the student loan debt crisis, and other things. We've talked about medicine. I personally think that we as a community, and when I say a community, I mean America, we have an ethical responsibility to ensure people in the U.S. have a good education, access to food and water, clean drinking water, just like first world stuff. Safety, policing, healthcare is one of them. I think we got to have that. But do you really believe the government, the federal government, is capable of doing any of this stuff? They can't give money. Like there's a list. You can go to the county clerk's office and find out who owned each one of those houses that got destroyed. They all filed paperwork to get that money.
Yes.
And the government, for some reason, 3.5 goddamn years later, can't process this paperwork and give them money. These people are sitting. Where are they even living right now?
Well, so here's what happens,
You know
because
what I mean?
I had to go through with FEMA.
Because they've had FEMA trucks out there
Yeah.
for times.
Yep.
They subsidized housing for a while, but there's no way 3.5 years later they're still subsidizing, and they haven't given these people any money to rebuild this stuff.
No. So here's what happens. They'll send out FEMA, right? And then you meet with these representatives, and you're on their schedule, by the way, not vice versa. So it's like, hey, man, we're going to tell you when you show up. If you can't make it then, we'll do it one more time. And after that, sorry, you get no fucking FEMA claim, right?
Yep.
So you have to meet these motherfuckers. Then they come in and go through your entire house and pick it apart to decide what type of damage may have been caused by whatever, a hurricane, a fire in this case, depending upon what it was.
and by the way,
they try to nuke down, they try
Yeah.
to take down every
It's-
last penny away from you.
It's
and
not,
you're like,
it's not an expert on fire damage, by the way.
No.
They're fucking government drone insurance adjusters.
Yep. And
Why would you expect a good result out of that?
the guy who did mine in New Jersey on the beach, when he was walking around the house, he didn't have like a Jersey accent or anything. And I was like, where the fuck are you from, dude? And he goes, Arizona. I was like, great. Why are you here working this job? And he goes, FEMA was short on people or whatever, so I'm here. And I was
Right.
like, but you don't know anything about this island or where you know all these people come from, how these houses are built,
yeah.
everything else. And he was just like, look, man, it's not my fucking problem. And I was just like, all right, cool, man.
Thanks, bro.
Yeah. Same with the fire. Like, dude, these FEMA workers and all this shit, they come in from other states. Like, they have no idea what you actually need.
But this is a symptom of the incompetence of government at large. I mean, J.C. Allen just said it in the chat, and I say this all the time. The government's job is to govern, not run systems, right?
Right.
So I think this is one of those rare situations, and I lean away from the moderate or middle of the road moniker a lot, but this is one of those situations where both sides do have half of the answer. The left is correct that we have to take care of people, and they do it because, in my opinion, particularly lately, they do it because they want the result, and the result is people being dependent on them.
Right.
That's wrong. They're half right. The right wants people to be individual, and they want private business to handle this shit. They're correct in both of those things. We have to do both of these things. We've done it before. When after the 2006 bullshit with FEMA, doing a great job, Brownie.
Right.
Hell yeah. No, he wasn't.
Yeah.
Thousands of people died because FEMA couldn't respond in time. So one of the first things they did after auditing all of that, they say, you know what? Next time, instead of trying to stand up a full-on fucking logistics operations in the middle of a disaster, we're going to go to Walmart, who has the best logistics. These days it would be Amazon, obviously. But they went to Walmart and said, you know what? Next time this happens, you guys are in charge of getting food and water and blankets to people.
Yeah.
That easy. That's what they do professionally. Like if you want somebody to cook your food, you don't go to a goddamn diesel mechanic. You go to a chef.
Yeah.
So why the fuck would you go to some government drone whose job is to fucking put little tick marks on paper and ask them to do fucking stuff like that?
It is
It
the
doesn't make any
only
sense.
option we have. And that, dude, it
Well,
goes
it's not
back
the
to
only option we have. We've got the money to do it. So they did it right the second time. Give that money to Walmart or Amazon or whomever it is and say, here's the task, the condition, and the standard. You meet this or you lose the contract, the end.
Right.
Get it done. That's it. Because they're professionals at this. What they do.
It's just going to continue to happen, though. It's been going on for years.
Well, this is, I mean, honestly, as bad as those people are suffering right now, not being able to rebuild their homes, this is kind of this is a blip on the radar for what's really happening in this country. You know what I mean? The fundamentals of liberty have been completely forgotten. We somehow have developed amnesia. We can't remember what we actually paid for with all that blood.
No. Look, this is going to keep going on in this country, man. I don't know how you stop it. It's like a fucking runaway train at this point. And if you need more evidence, we're living in a plutocracy. Here's this one, and I'll let you do this one. I mean, this is fucking crazy.
This is one of the worst things I've ever seen in my life. So we all know about the COVID bailouts for businesses, small business stuff.
Yep.
More than half of all the emergency small business funds from COVID relief went to larger businesses.
Yeah.
The funds from the Treasury Department Coronavirus Emergency Fund for small businesses went to 5% of recipients, according to the data on more than 5 million loans released by the government Tuesday evening. So according to the data from the government's Paycheck Protection Program, about 600 mostly larger companies, including dozens of national chains, received the maximum amount allowed under the program, which is $10 million. For those of you who don't know, plutocracy is a government, society, country, whatever, that is run by the wealthy. Russia is a good example. They have oligarchs there.
Right.
An oligarchy, plutocracy, they're very similar. All spring, summer, and fall. I personally have continuously expressed concern for small businesses and said that shutting them down and the inefficient relief programs would lead to millions of families losing everything. And that's exactly what's happened. About 500,000 businesses are closed forever now. Forever. They will never reopen. As it turns out, I was right, unfortunately, and that's not even enough for them, though. It's not enough to take everything you have. These people who fund these campaigns, who fund PACs, who fund lobbyists and give them jobs once they're out of office, these people are not stupid. They know exactly what fucking happens. Yeah. They know exactly what happens when governments prioritize big business, and they know what happens when they prioritize it over small business. They know what happens when government seizes means of production because other people can't do it. Both sides of the aisle, including Trump, who oversees these organizations, has fucking failed our country. This is one of the most abject failures I've ever seen. People are talking about how Trump failed to take COVID seriously and failed to tell people to wear a mask and all this shit. No, we failed to allow people to make their own fucking living. We have failed these people. I don't trust any politician in this country. Neither should you.
No, and what's going to happen is, they're going to they'll probably shut down the country for 4 to 6 weeks, right? We fully expect that to happen when Biden gets in, and this will even further this problem that's going on with small businesses and everything else. Everything is going to become some form of monopoly at some point. I mean, we're getting real goddamn close to that now. Amazon, Facebook, Google. I mean,
Amazon has only gotten bigger.
No, and then the streaming services will be next, right? It'll be Netflix, HBO, Hulu-ish, and it'll be about 4 of those too, because they're the only ones that can afford that type of shit.
Tetherball.
Yeah, Tetherball Media Academy. But now, if that happens to our company, just know that
I'll start I'm
going to run a monopoly, right?
This is an LLC. If they come after this company, I'll fucking close it down and start a new one with a different name every single day of the goddamn week. I'll be Michael Scott Paper Company. I don't give 2 fucks about you. And suck my goddamn dick. This is one of the it's one of the bellwethers of when a society is collapsing. When the wealthy feel like they can operate with impunity. It always happens in Rome when the Senate got so much control, and then Julius Caesar came in and said, you know what, we need to return power back to the people, the plebs, as they were referred to then. And that's what he did. He brought plebs into the Senate, made them senators.
Right.
And the first thing they did was assassinate him, kick all of them out, and then institute fucking martial law all over the place. The only thing that saved it was Pax Romana, was fucking Augustus Caesar. It's the only thing that saved it, and we're fucking headed there right now.
Yeah, where did Caesar end up?
Julius Caesar ended up stabbed in the Senate floor. Augustus Caesar, his nephew, presided over the longest period of peace in Roman history, called the Pax Romana. So he did fine.
So what we're saying is we need another Trump in there, probably.
Jesus.
Well, that was kind of in between. What year did he die? Did Julius Caesar die?
Tiberius, maybe.
Who? Jesus?
Yeah.
No, I think Augustus would have. Well, no, it probably would have. Augustus was out like 19. Yeah, so it would have been Tiberius. Yeah, probably.
Didn't even need to Google that.
There it is. Look at Hot Bob, dude. He's
Well,
on fire
you still
today.
should Google it though to confirm, because if we're wrong, we're all gonna look like assholes. Yeah, it's Tiberius.
I believe in Hot Bob, dude. He's going to be, that modeling contract's coming up too. so.
Provided you believe that Jesus actually died that year in 33 AD.
Do you not think he did?
There's no way to tell. There's no evidence that he did.
Allegedly, they found his childhood home a couple weeks ago.
No, they didn't.
Yeah. That's what they said, man.
How would they even fucking know? Like they got his DNA on file down at the DMV or some
Yeah,
shit.
dude.
Like, get the fuck out of here.
It's the Shroud of Turin. They got the fucking DNA off of it. They're going to clone Jesus and bring him back to life.
Now, it would be possible that they had DNA scraped off the Shroud of Turin, which is unlikely because it's locked in the fucking Vatican, but it's possible they would have had DNA from that and it matched to something there, but who said that was Jesus?
I don't know.
What they like fucking, I actually heard, someone actually told me this one time. They're like, yeah, when they lifted when they x-rayed the shroud or looked at it under whatever instruments they were looking at it, you could see the imprint of his face. It's definitely Jesus. Like, what do you know what fucking Jesus' face looked like?
Yeah.
Because of what people painted 1,000 years later? Shut up.
He was white,
They just
blonde.
They found the DNA was from like the 1400s or something like that.
Oh, it was?
Yeah,
If
it's
Jesus,
bullshit.
if Jesus came back today, by the way, he would get fucking crucified again. By Americans, religious Americans, a lot of them. Now, a lot of them are not. Obviously, a lot of people are not stupid like that. But a lot of Americans still have that image of the white, blue-eyed fucking Jesus in their
Yeah.
head. And if you've, God, what is that fucking TV show? Not The Prophet. What the fuck was it called? I don't remember. But anyways, there's a TV show that came on last year.
Oh, yeah, Netflix.
Yeah, it was really good. It
Yeah.
had some really good actors in it. Put that up on there.
Is that what they're saying what Jesus actually looked like?
Yeah.
what he was?
You can't sell that.
This was like a scientific recreation.
Yeah, like
of-
if this guy showed up, you would be like, all right, let's go ahead and get his shoes off
I
and
gave
search him.
I gave that
Enough
guy
of this
money an
socialist
hour ago.
asshole.
Imagine
Yeah.
Jesus right now trying to fly through an airport.
That looks like me.
There's no way.
It does. Giorgio, honestly, with a good tan or like a bodybuilder's tan, like one of those lotions, dude, that does kind of look like you. What if you are Jesus and we just didn't know it? The reason why you take all these drugs is you can't deal with the rest of us.
I mean, that'd be news to me.
I think Jordan Peterson might be Jesus. I think there's a Jesus in every generation. I think he might be ours. I'm not kidding. I mean, Jesus wasn't a religious figure. He was a political figure, right? He wasn't the institutions of religion back then. The Roman religion was mostly political, but particularly in the Jewish community, the Pharisees and Sadducees, they ran the show there. They made deals with Rome. They sold out their own people. They did all kinds of unethical shit. That's what Jesus was fighting. He wasn't necessarily telling them. He wasn't reading off the Ten Commandments to them. He was saying, you know what? You guys are robbing your own community. Why? And he fucking flipped tables over to make his point. So there's one of those people in every generation that's like, hey, you know what? Something doesn't smell right. Somebody needs to do something about this.
And then he came back from the dead. Show the side-by-side shot there, the side of his face, because that one's a creepy one too. Who did that? Is that a reputable thing, or is this?
This looks even more like me.
I mean, this is based
Georgia.
on skeletons they dug up from that time period. Obviously, I'm not.
Why does he have short hair?
I'm not going to get into archeology.
I watched
goddamn.
this a while back, and they basically said like, this is your average Canaanite or Palestinian in 08 or 30 AD.
Why does he have short hair?
Well, there's actually a lot of in the Bible about warriors having short hair. So it was.
They didn't want to get it pulled.
It was part of their culture back then. Jesus wasn't. It's funny. We've come to expect Jesus to have like or like shoulder length or even longer hair.
Yeah, longer hair.
Like that. No, he would not have looked like that at all. He would have looked like.
I want my Jesus.
He would have looked like a
though.
goddamn Palestinian, which is what he was.
I want my Jesus to party.
Yeah, I mean, it would be funny if
long
they could
hair, weed.
He had no keeps though.
tuxedo T-shirt.
No, he didn't have keeps.com/revolution back then.
No.
I want my Jesus partying though, man. I want him with long hair, and I want him boozing, and
No, it's long in the back. He's just a Skrillex fan. It's like short on the sides.
Mullet Jesus.
Yeah, mullet Jesus is okay. I think whoever this artist was really didn't do him any favors.
It's
though.
well, I mean, yeah, it's a 3D render, but basically they take they take
it's
the
Jesus.
They take the bone structure, right?
Yeah.
And they take the bone structure. They X-ray the bone structure of living humans, tens of thousands of them, and then pulled out and then took 3D images of their face, right? And then they compared the two, and they built algorithms that would fucking take a skeleton and turn it into that. That's why it looks like that. It's
Take some liberties, though. It's Jesus. You know what I'm saying? Like, make him pretty.
He turned water to wine.
Yes,
you think
dude.
You could fix his hairline.
Make him look, make him good looking. Make him a fucking good looking Jesus.
Why,
if you're the one building the model.
He's a normal looking dude. That's a normal looking Palestinian man.
Yeesh. That's not what you want to sell to the masses, though. You gotta make him good looking.
I mean, they bailed on that pretty quick.
If you're gonna
Byzantine Roman art.
Yeah.
Jesus gets hot pretty quick.
Yeah, he does.
Who's married to Penelope Cruz? Javier Bardem. Make him look like that. Make him look like a sweet Javier Bardem.
He does kind of look like that. Yeah.
No, this
But
rendering sucks.
Javier,
There it is.
Javier
Put Bardem up on the screen.
Javier Bardem is also wealthy.
Just
and
make him
he lives now.
There's been some hot homeless people that I've seen. Remember Hot Khan? Do you remember the convict who was really
Khan?
good looking? No. Look up Hot Khan real quick.
I know who you're talking about, with the light blue eyes.
Yes.
Yeah.
He ended up fucking impregnating that heiress when he got out of jail.
Oh, yeah, the black
There
dude.
he is. Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
It's possible to be a piece of shit and then be beautiful. I don't understand. Like, just make Jesus beautiful like that.
Yeah,
make him look like that.
I'd probably bang that dude.
Yeah, I would too. I'd fuck that guy. He got out of jail. He knocked up an heiress. He's set for life.
Good for him.
Living his best life, dude. Make Jesus look like that.
Yeah.
Don't fucking.
Also, wasn't it drugs?
Yeah.
So fuck it.
What, for him? That's why he was in jail?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, who cares about that?
Yeah, who cares about that?
Victimless crime.
But let's make Jesus good looking. Whoever did that artist rendering, like, you got to sell that to the masses. You can't sell that guy, the homeless guy.
Oh, shout out to BK giving us some of that
big
drug
shouts
money.
to BK.
Yeah,
I
dude.
need that.
For reals.
Thanks, BK.
Next up, what happened in Iran? This is a crazy story, man. That's seems like it's the ending of Breaking Bad.
Yeah.
Forgive me if I've spoiled it for you, but essentially
it's
at the
been
end
out
of,
for 15 fucking years.
exactly.
So.
But it feels like that, where it was. The rumor has it that there was a remote-controlled machine gun that killed Iran's top nuclear scientists.
Now
you
that's-
know more
that's-
about this than I do.
That's
like,
coming from the Iranian security services, and I can't imagine they're being honest about it. I mean, so this guy that got clipped was Iran's top nuclear scientist.
Right.
He has been the guy. I can't say his name. There's no way I'll ever be able to say his name. He was shot and killed Friday in what the Iranian media call.
I'll give it a run.
ahead.
Mohsen Farizadeh. Nope, probably not.
Fuck
fuck him.
Rizada, maybe.
Fuck him.
Anyways, yeah, he got just outside of Tehran. He and his bodyguards got fucking ambushed and shot up.
But with the remote controlled
Whoa.
thing, right? No?
We'll get there. So he's been long identified by American and Israeli intelligence as the guiding figure behind the covert effort to design a nuclear warhead in Iran. He's the guy.
Right. Yeah, he's the
running that
dude.
whole- He's chemical
Correct.
Ali for Iran, basically.
Correct.
And we have a mountain of evidence that after Iran allegedly turned off their nuclear program, he's been continuing. There's so much evidence of it. So this is what a lot of people in the intelligence community believe. They believe because Iran is so humiliated by Soleimani and now this, and right next to their capital city, they fucking ambush this dude, pop him, and get away, and nobody has been arrested for it. Right. In Iran, it's not, by the way, easy to get in and out of that country. You know what I mean? It's not like America. where you
No,
can just
dude,
fucking
it's hard
cross
as
the border.
shit.
No. So here's what Iran says happened. They say that Israel executed him entirely by remote control, spraying bullets from an automated machine gun propped up in a parked Nissan without a single assassin on the scene. Now, technically speaking, that is possible.
It is, but it seems like the Bruce Willis movie.
No, it's not. In 2010, a company called Rafael at Advanced Defense Systems created this weapon platform for Israel, right?
Yeah.
To do remote assassinations. It's an IP it's a fucking a modem with an IP camera on it and controls for that thing. That exists. There's no question about that. That definitely exists. It exists for at least a decade that we know of.
Do you think it happens? Yes or no?
I do, actually.
Really?
I do think it happened like that.
Show the picture of that Bruce Willis movie. Can you pull that up, Hot Bob? Put it on screen.
And the difference between what you're looking at on the screen right now.
Is that on screen? That's exactly it, right? I'm not crazy.
Yeah, the difference in this is it would have been mounted inside the vehicle and they would not even have been there. They may have been remote control driving the car, which, by the way, these days with Tesla, it's not that hard to do. You can fucking you can remote control your Tesla. Or you can't, but the company can remote control your Tesla, right?
Yeah.
So if you can remote control the car and you can aim and operate the fucking weapon system, you wouldn't have to be anywhere near there, provided there's an internet connection to that device strong enough where you could be 20 miles away. They would never know. And this presents a real problem. Not just
shit like
not
this.
just for Iran. It presents a problem for the entire world, because if this actually did happen this way, they've set the standard, and it's going to happen more. Promise you
Really?
that. Yes, sir. It will absolutely happen more. You know how they say the NFL is a copycat league?
Yeah.
Everybody always says that shit. The militaries globally, copycats. They all fucking are always trying to learn from each other and employ new fucking things. I really do believe this happens.
So when I heard this story, because this has been going on for a couple days, and I knew we were going to talk about it on the news, so we haven't talked about it anywhere else. When I heard this story, I thought to myself the same thing as what you initially said, which is where I thought you were going with this, as they were so humiliated by it that they had to make up a crazy story like this because they don't know who did it. Therefore, it's like, oh, all right, cool, man. Everybody go on about your day. It was just that remote-controlled machine gun from the Bruce Willis movie.
But what's the benefit of that? Everybody does know exactly who did that. It was Israel, for sure. There's no question
I think so.
in the world. No.
You do.
No, it's not about think. If anybody's going to kill an Iranian fucking nuclear scientist, the Iranian nuclear scientist, it was Israel or it was us.
That's what I'm thinking.
You know what I mean?
But it's one of the two.
Yeah.
We have not taken credit for it, obviously.
Well, we can't. That's an act of war.
We did for Soleimani.
Mm-hmm. He was in Iraq at the time. We had evidence that he was there to coordinate attacks specifically.
Okay, so with Israel, do you think, because of our relationship, in particular Trump and Netanyahu, that they got together and they were like, hey, man, we know where this guy's at. Let's just fucking clip him.
Yes, I do believe that. The president doesn't necessarily need authorization. He actually doesn't need authorization to do targeted strikes like that. Okay. So, I mean, it could have been him, the DNI, maybe probably Deputy Director Ops, CIA in the room together, something like that. And they just fucking have old Netanyahu on the phone, Bibi.
Do you think this is more of a statement, Dan? Because it doesn't really do anything to halt their nuclear program at all. He's just their top scientist and the head of it. Or the
no,
face of it.
I think if it was meant to be a statement, well, I mean, it is a statement of a kind. But if I was making a statement and doing something like that, I would have executed 4 or 5 of those simultaneously across the country, and just to let everybody in Iran know I can get you anywhere at any time, and you'll never fucking see me, and you'll never see me coming, and you won't fucking catch me leaving either. Yeah. I mean, that's what I personally would do. But maybe they didn't have the targets. Who knows? Maybe this is the target of opportunity. I guarantee you, and that Israel and the United States have assets in Iran right now, for sure. Yes. We know that because of Stuxnet, right? The NSA developed this. Well, I don't know who developed it, but somebody developed this fucking software, Stuxnet. That it's a fucking very advanced worm, and somebody had to go physically put it on the servers in an Iranian nuclear facility, and it melted the whole goddamn thing down. A fucking thumb drive melted that whole place down. That guy, whomever did that, it could have been a woman too, I have no idea, but I doubt it. In Iran, they don't really work in places like that. Was probably in that country for years before he ever did that. Working as a dissident, pretending to be Iranian, or maybe he was Iranian, who knows? Yeah. But he was there for a long, long time. And now I guarantee you, this car and this hardware was sitting in Iran somewhere, and somebody said, "Hey, you know what? We know where this dude's going to be at 4 o'clock today. You just want to go smoke him." Right. That's how those conversations go. Yeah. And that's what happened.
Huh. Fuck, man. I thought for sure this was like, we don't know what's going on. Let's say it was the fucking fake machine gun thing.
Well, I mean, look. Think about it from suspend your disbelief for a minute and try to figure out how what they claimed, or what was originally claimed by Iranian security services. Our service was that there was like fucking 12 to 20 dudes that showed up, smoked the fucking car up, and then bailed. There's no goddamn way 20 people all got away. Right. Not a chance. Right. There's no chance that happened. So this seems more believable to me, frankly. Nah. Tyler Swing says he wonders what Evan has to say. I would love to hear what he has to say. We're going to have Jared on tomorrow. We'll ask him about it and see what he thinks too. Yeah. Because this is a really interesting story.
Last but not least here, New Jersey is challenging California as the dumbest motherfuckers in the country. New Jersey lawmakers may include a so-called social equity tax in the legislation establishing a legal market for recreational marijuana. Yeah. Is this real?
We're sorting people.
I saw this. Is this real? Is this real?
We're sorting people by their level of success now.
Yes.
And taxing them on goods differently.
Tax the rich, dude, for $58. Yeah.
This is, it's pretty wild. What they're calling is a social equity excise fee. And basically would help fund programs aimed at reducing racial disparities caused by drug laws. Now, that's a real thing. I've been wrapped up in this debate for a fucking decade now. The FBI data clearly shows that not only, it shows that black and white people use and sell drugs at commensurate rates. But black people get caught more, they get arrested more. When they do get convicted, they get longer sentences. The end. There's no fucking debate about any of that. Those are just the facts of the case. So I understand something like this. What I don't understand is... Oh, man.
That you're selling drugs.
What I don't understand,
pay for
they're selling drugs, and what they want to do, what their stated goal is, they want to fucking create a regulated cannabis marketplace.
That sells drugs to help people who have been sentenced for drugs.
Now, this is New Jersey, who, by the way, since the Trump tax cuts, have they take less money in from the federal government than any other state. Their ratio of federal dollars taken in to federal taxes paid, they're the best.
Yeah.
Best in the country. However, they are billions of dollars in debt. Now, their governor is a absolute fuckface. They're trying to... he actually went to the Supreme Court, the New Jersey Supreme Court recently, to get authorization to issue up to $9.9 billion in bonds to get them out of debt. That's how badly he's fucked up that country. Look, he a lot of it, he tried to play him on coronavirus and shit like that. You didn't go $10 billion in debt because of COVID over the last 7 months, bro.
Right.
9 months, however long it's been. This is not fucking possible. The court approved his request.
Yeah.
Sweet. So he just used the judicial branch to grant him executive authority to continue butt fucking New Jersey's economy.
Yeah.
We expect these sleepy turds that have developed this economy in New Jersey, who reject all the Trump, they're trying to overturn the Trump tax cuts right now. All their legislators, their Congress people and their senators in New Jersey are trying to get a vote to overturn that shit right now. And these are the people that you think are going to go build some new economic independent marketplace, right, in your state. Are you out of your fucking mind?
Yeah, dude. This is what's going down. This is what's happening.
I think Trump's last action in office, by the way, I think an hour before the inauguration, he should release a document that completely pardons anybody that's in jail, prison, or ever has been in jail or prison for non-violent weed-related offenses. Stroke of a pen. Done. Do it right then.
Yeah.
Big fuck you to everybody as soon as you walk out the door.
And then an hour later, the rumor is he's going to announce that he's running for president in 2024 on the inauguration day. So
that would be funny. It'll be a shit show either way, but that would be pretty funny. I mean, he's going to do something to troll people.
Yeah.
He can't help himself.
No. There will be something massive on that last day. I can promise you that. Now's the point in the show. We get to the Drinkin Bro of the week. This one was submitted by Zach Luger from Texas. Has been a member of Drinkin Bros for 3 years. He is nominating Shelly Mills. Reason for the nomination: my amazing fiance is always dropping everything to help out everyone around her without thinking about herself. Most recent example is her 90-year-old grandma who was hospitalized with pneumonia and COVID. And with all the bullshits and regulations in place, her grandmother was alone in the hospital. And with her age becomes memory loss. So Shelly fought for her grandma and finally found the loophole needed to be by her side through the hard times. She put her life on hold, including her job. Even though we live paycheck to paycheck, she knew she needed to be there with her grandma. Right now, she is quarantined at her grandma's house, still helping out her grandma. Our kids, our 4-year-old twins, miss her. But her grandma's health takes priority, and I can't blame her one bit. On December 11th, she will be coming home. Love you, Shelly, and we'll see you soon. Cheers. Cheers. If you're out there, you could nominate your Drinkin Bro of the week through drinkinbros.com. They come directly to our email. We read them live on air. They are unfiltered, and whatever comes in the inbox, we read them. While you are on drinkinbros.com, we get some merch for sale, some Buttersoft tees for $19.99 that are available there, and that's where you fill out your Drinkin' Bro of the week. D'Anthony, fun show today. Sometimes we just keep going and going and going. Whatever happens, happens. Stay tuned tonight to Drinkin' Bros Sports, where Hot Bob and Fake Dan will be doing their college basketball show. That is a different feed on YouTube. So go to Drinkin' Bros Sports and subscribe to that one.
Just posted it in the chat.
Yeah, you
posted
did. Great.
the chat.
Great.
Follow
So
that link.
go there, follow the link, subscribe to Drinkin' Bros Sports on YouTube, and subscribe to the new Drinkin' Bros Sports channel. We are moving sports off of our audio feed. So all of our sports shows, which will be four to five days a week on Drinkin' Bros Sports, it is its own new channel, and so please go there and rate and subscribe to that as well. That'll help move us on up the charts. Eric Tanzi has joined us. He's doing a tailgating show, and Willie Parker is the guest from the Pittsburgh Steelers tomorrow night. So we're super amped about that new channel. Please go there and support everybody on Drinkin' Bros Sports, and stay tuned for their show tonight. In the meantime, for D'Anthony Holloway, I'm Ross Patterson. This is the Drinkin' Bros Fake News. Good night, everyone.